it's Mr. Ed here on a really cold, nasty looking January 6th, 2025. This is the first video that I made in 2025. So what am I going to be making this video on about? Well, we got back yesterday, Sunday, from the expo, the NABI, the North American Honeybee Expo. My goodness, that thing was just so awesome. And I gotta say, I met face to face so many of the members to the channel, so many subscribers to the channel, and then now so many new subscribers to the channel. What an awesome experience it was. And I'm telling you, I'm not gonna post a video on it, but I'm gonna use parts of my experience of there and show that kind of stuff later on, not on this video, but just want to thank Cayman for putting on such a fantastic event, and for giving me the opportunity to meet so many of people that follow along with my channel, as well as meet so many other great people, because it was a wonderful experience. So, but today, and I was waiting to get back to do this specifically, and that is to start the process of taking the honey off of the, separating the honey and the wax off of the honey that I processed right before I left here. So it's been sitting in that drum for a week, which has given it enough time for all the wax that was in the wax, that was in the honey. It's given it time to percolate up into the surface of the drum. So what I'm going to be doing today is removing the cappings from the honey and just putting it in a strainer. Normally when I separate the honey and the wax, I put it in my honey wax separator and spin it out, but since we only have such a little bit, it's just not worth using the machine to do it. It's just too much trouble clean up, and it's just not even worth it. So we'll do it the old school way, just gravity. Let gravity do the work for me. And it'll take a day to drain out, and then once it's drained out, then I can take my cappings and bring them over to the into the kettle, to the wax rendering kettle, and render it down. We'll see how much wax that we'll be able to get off of that process of rendering. So it ought to be pretty interesting, and I'm always curious to find out just how much wax I can get from the honey. And as I'm approaching the rear end of the honey house, let me get you a shot. But this is what I really want to see, because this is the first time I've seen it. They put a new roof, and I'm excited about this. They put a new roof on the peacock pen, and so now, man, it's going to be, it's going to last me a long time. Let me show you what the back porch of the honey house looks like with all the supers that I pushed out there to let the bees clean up. They did that in about a day. So everything back there has got to be now put underneath in the peacock pen, and with a new roof on it, I won't have to worry about it at all. Let me show you what the back porch and the roof looks like. Now this is the back of the honey house right here, and those are all the supers, and look at our new roof. Our new roof on the peacock pen. They still got a little bit more to go on it, but man, oh man, I'm so happy to have a new roof. Let's walk around the front of it and see what it looks like. Look at that. Boy, oh boy. So they're missing a ridge cap up that part right there, some flashing right there, and at the other end they're also missing a little bit of wood. Got a little wave in it, but that's not their fault. That's the structure. It's been there for a long time. For goodness sakes, that is awesome. All right, so let's get inside and get busy with this, taking care of the wax. There is our drum with all of our wax in it. Almost looks like an oatmeal cookie, a big oatmeal cookie. But it would be a pretty thick one because it's about almost 3 inches thick. And what I plan on doing is taking my little ice scooper right here and just scooping through the wax, picking it up, and then dumping it into this tray. And you can see this tray, stainless steel tray with all these holes in it, and it's going to drain into this pan right here. I seriously doubt that we're going to get a whole lot of honey, but there's about 1 inch of honey that I can put in there without the honey backing up onto the bottom of this tray. And with that being said, let me set up the camera and we can start scraping out that wax from that honey drum and moving it over to start allowing the honey to separate and drain out through our pan. All right, that ought to take care of it. Let me show you what the drum looks like really good now and what our wax pile looks like. And now our oatmeal cookie has all been removed, and now that's all honey. There's nothing up there. I may have to scrape a little bit more tomorrow after this stuff settles out, but probably not. This will probably be all the filtering that I do. And speaking of filtering, that is all the filtering I do for our honey. It is not run through any other kind of filter, strainer, anything. From this point right here, I just pump it right into my bottler. I mean, it's as close to getting honeycomb without the wax as you can get. Pretty raw. And here is the wax that I took out, and as you can see, it's already draining down. I've never done it this way, but I mean I've used the gravity method to drain honey from comb before, so I'm really confident it's going to work pretty well. But we will find that out for sure tomorrow, so we'll check back in tomorrow. Well, good morning, and folks, it is cold this morning. It's either 28 or 29. It's cold this morning. In fact, Charlie and I are supposed to go do a removal today. It's an open air colony, but we ain't doing it today. That'll have to be for, I think we're going to schedule it for next week. We're supposed to get some warm weather next week. But this morning I want to go in there into the honey house and find out just how far along our honey has come as far as draining out from that wax, separating out from it. I had turned the heater up to 80 last night, so it might be pretty good, but we'll find out just exactly what it is. For the first time, just like me. And yeah, we did pretty good. Check it out. This is what it looks like after, I don't know, it's not 24 hours, but it's drained out a little bit more. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir it up a little bit, see if I can spread it out a little bit, and we'll wait another day before we start rendering that wax. And let's look what our honey looks like. Oh, that looks very good. I'm not going to do any more to this, so I'm not even going to try to scrape that little bit off of it. The reason being that I'm going to be pulling this honey from the bottom of the drum, which will be all clean, and as that honey drops, the level of honey drops in the drum, all that stuff will just work its way out to the side. It'll even never come out. So I'm going to stir this stuff up and see if that makes any difference in drying it out a little bit more. As you saw for yourself, that honey is still awful wet. So I'm going to go ahead and just wait another day, see if anything else does drain out of it. It's not real important that I get all of that honey drained out, because once I start throwing all that wax into the water, that water will become sugar water, which then I can feed to the bees. So it's still going to be fun. And so I'll wait another day. We'll do that tomorrow. But what you see behind me, all the labels that everybody's been sending me over the last 2 years. And if you would like to send me one of your honey labels, the address to send it to me, it will be in the description of this video. And I sure would love to put your label up on that wall, because I know it would make it a lot better. All right, so we'll check back in with our honey tomorrow, our wax tomorrow, and I think by then we're going to actually start rendering it, see if we can get a block of wax out of it. See y'all tomorrow. Well, good morning. And I've been out here already for about 20 minutes. I got the kettle all cleaned up, and I got the water in it to boil. It should be boiling right now. So let me get inside here and let me show you what I got going on here. As you can tell, we probably got a good roll going on with that water. Oh yeah. So our water is already, the kettle is all cleaned up. Let's get inside and grab a hold of our honey and our wax and bring it on out here. Ooh, steam, steam, steam. And the wax should be a lot drier than it was yesterday. And yep, looks pretty good, at least good enough. So I'm going to grab the tray right here and walk it out to the kettle room and dump it in. It is cold out there. Not as cold as it was yesterday, but it's still cold. Let's go ahead and open our lid, not get burned, and get our wax into that pot. That's good enough. We'll let the bees clean out that. Let's get the lid closed and get that wax melted. Let me give you a shot of what it looks like as it's cooking down. Get some of the steam to clear out. Man, it is, it might be ready already. It's only been 5 minutes. In fact, let me stir it around and see what it looks like. I can't believe how fast that wax melted in there. So we're just gonna, I'm gonna run it through a strainer to catch any big stuff that was in there, but otherwise the other dirt, it'll just get on the bottom of that block. So we're gonna strain it out right now. I can see the wax coming out right now. And a lot of dirt and trash. Now I'm going to continue letting I'll take the valve out and continue to let it drain out because there's still a lot of liquid wax inside there as well as trash. And I'll give you a shot of what this thing looks like in about 20 minutes. Wow. Not only was that quick and easy, I already got the tank cleared out for the next rendering, and that's all the trash that came out of this particular rendering. And let me move the bucket away and remove that top. There is our water, honey water, and wax. Now tomorrow, after it cools off, we're going to dump this thing out, and you'll see how big of a block, and I don't think it's going to be that big, but we'll get something out of it. See y'all in the morning. Well, good morning. Man, we got us another cold morning in Louisiana. Man, I just saw it's 30, 33 degrees. When I left the house this morning, it was 27, so it's warmed up a little bit. In fact, I got my heated jacket on, man, because I am cold. So let's get inside the kettle room and find out just what kind of block of wax we got. Let me turn this around. Here is our bucket. Hey, look at that. Nice little block of wax. Now I'm going to move this bucket because I don't want to dump that water out, so I'm just going to have to see if I can fish that block of wax out. And the reason I don't want to dump it is because it's full of honey, and I know the bees can eat that later on. So let me see if I can fish out that little block of wax and show you what we got. Wow, Now that is a lot thicker a piece of wax than I thought I'd get. I really didn't think it'd be that big. Let me clean this thing up and wash it off. They've turned the water off out here, so I gotta walk down the street to get it cleaned up, and then I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Well, there is no doubt about it. That is a nice block of wax, and just considering really that was just a few bit of frames. Well, it was 180 frames. That really is just a few, but really not a lot. Man, that is a nice block. I do have to render it one more time to get all this stuff out, but I've got about 4 or 5 more blocks. I'll throw all these things in together to get the second rendering of it. But it's freezing in here, so I'm getting back into the honey house, and I'll show you what I got going on over in there. Oh man, it is a lot warmer inside the honey house than it is out there. Oh, it feels good. My hands are finally thawing out a little bit. And I want to show you the, you can't really see it, but there's, let's see, I don't know, we got probably a gallon of honey that I filtered off from all those cappings, and another beautiful, beautiful, really beautiful block of wax. And I don't think it'll be tomorrow, but maybe the day after I'll get all these things, all those little other extra blocks that I've gotten, get them into one big block. I don't need to have these little blocks. I like the big ones. So before I go, again, remind you all and ask you, send your label to me so I can put it up on the wall. So thanks for watching. Keep on watching, and I will be making more. God bless. Mr. Ed, I'm out into the next video.